Okay, good morning, grade 10. We're now going to do operators, not or and operators as in your textbook. And you can look on page 80, page 79 to 81. So let's go ahead and do it. What we have here is truth tables. We're going to introduce you to these operators, and, or, and not. These are Delphi reserved words that we use in our if statements or any testing conditions. If we have two things that we want to test, for instance, here we have an example of if statements. What we can do is you can memorize these truth tables. It does help, and I'm just going to go through the values. If a statement is true and a statement is false, well, the whole thing is false. If a statement is false and a statement is true, that whole statement combined will then be false. The statement is, if a condition is true and a condition is true in a statement, sorry, these are conditions. If a condition is true and a condition is true in a statement, then the whole statement is true. But if both things are false, or both statements are false, and join them together with and, then you will have a false result. Now that is the and operator. The or operator works differently. If something is true or something is false, then it's still, the whole thing together is still true. So if something is false or something is true, guess what? It is still true. If something is true or something is true, that's obviously the whole statement will be true. Over here, if a statement is false or another statement is false, then the whole thing together will be false. So that's a nice useful little table. You can memorize it and you can draw it whenever you're writing exams. It does help to put it in. Then over here, the not operator, not false will be true, won't it? And not true will be false, opposite. Right, let's have a look at some statements here. If number equals 10 and number equals 12, well, we know that doesn't make sense. A number can't be 10 and 12 at the same time. So that actually should be or. Should have an or there. Put an or in its place. Now, that makes more sense, eh? If a number is 10 or the number is 12, then, and if either one of these are true, then the whole if statement will be true, and then we'll do what we have to do. And over here, if the age is greater than 13 and age is less than 23, well, that makes sense, eh? You can be greater than 13 and 23. So if you're 16, you are in that range. So there, that's a valid statement. Now, what about this one? If grade is equal to 10 or grade is equal to 11. Well, it all depends on the context. If you're looking at more than one child, and by the way, here's something. Okay, well, if you're looking at more than one child, then, you know, you can go and test if they're in grade 11 or grade 10. That means we want all grade 11s and grade 10 people. So that could be valid. Oh, by the way, yeah, you saw me putting brackets in there. We actually, in our Delphi statements, if we're using or and, then we do need to put brackets around the two conditions, like that. Okay, Delphi doesn't like it if we don't put brackets around here. If we're using and or, we've got to wrap the two conditions between the operator in brackets. Okay, so this is going to be, we want all grade 10s and grade 11s. If the instruction says all grade 10s and grade 11s, then we use the or. If we want either grade 10, well, if we use an and, what's going to happen? What does that mean? Well, that doesn't make sense, because you can't be in grade 10 and grade 11 at the same time. So that is doesn't make any sense, not logical at all. Okay. Well, it depends on what you want to do. If the people are going to say, okay, if what if you're looking at one person? If the grade of one person is grade 10 and grade 11, that doesn't make sense. So therefore the or is a better thing. If you want to have all the grade 10s and 11s go to a meeting, then we'll use or. Okay. So we have to use or. So this doesn't make sense because you can't be in both grades at the same time. Right, now what I'm going to do is we're going to look at this little activity right over here. Oh wait, we haven't done the not operator yet. Hey, let's go and do not before we do. I'm going to do this activity 2 number 1 quickly. The not operator goes like this: if not grade equals 10, then. That's how you use the not. Okay, the not will be the opposite. If in other words, everybody who is not in grade 10. Okay, you also say if not age is greater than 13, then. Right, if the age, what does that mean? If the age is not greater than 13, then we're going to do something. That means anybody that's less than or equal to 13. So you can use not. We don't use it very often, but sometimes it is useful. Just know how it works. So if not gender equals male, that means all females. So we want all the girls to do something. So we say if not gender equals male. So we could also say if gender equals F. So that's how you use not. Okay. Also with brackets. So now let's go and translate this very awkward scratch statement. But I'm going to just try and look at, so we have an or there, and then we have and then we have an or over there. So this lot must be separated from the or over there, and that must be separated from that one. Although this, the last and or, these and or, that's actually one whole statement. But let's first do the first statement. If age is greater than 50 and trunk equals yes. Right, so I'm going to write it here. If age is greater than 50, and I must use brackets, and trunk equals true. Okay. Now we have some more things to put in. Or weight is greater than 4,000. Let's move it to the right a bit so we can see, because it's going to be a long statement. Now this or must be separate, so we have to put brackets around these over here, and then close the bracket, and then open a bracket after the or weight is greater than 4,000, but that is a separate one, and weight is less than 5, so we have to say and weight is less than 5. Let's make this smaller so you can see it, all of it. Oops. Okay, we'll just finish typing, then I'll make it smaller. I haven't finished that statement yet. Oops. Okay, so if age is greater than 50 and trunk equals true. Now that is a whole statement all on its own. And then or weight. Okay, so weight is greater than 4,000 and weight is less than 5. So if you have a weight, greater than 4,000, less than 5. Yeah. That sort of doesn't make sense, does it? Height is less than 5, it's not weight. Height is less than 5. That was another condition. Okay, then I have to have an OR statement after that. Ear is greater, the ear size is greater than, or ear size is greater than 100. Now I know that after every AND and OR in between we have to go and put in our brackets, but here we have a situation where this OR is part of the whole thing. If I can maybe put these in different colors. So for instance, this, so that OR should be green maybe, and all of these, let's make all of this red, and then you can see what I'm talking about here. Okay, so that is one statement there, but this little bracket there actually needs to be black, and then we will make all of this here, except for that very last bracket, we'll make that blue. Okay, so okay, let's see if I've got this right. Actually no, this must stay red. Can you see how the brackets are actually quite important here? So these, you've got to count your brackets. You have to see where they're ending and where they're beginning. That OR statement is going to basically be this item in red or this whole item in blue. And I know I made that last bracket black, so let's go and change it to black there. Can you see where that bracket over there is matching that bracket over there? So you match up your brackets, and then these in here are a different condition altogether, and they are supposed to be together. So I will make those purple, including this bracket over there. Oops. Well, that's quite a complex problem, isn't it? So the black brackets over there and over there at the end means that whole thing, it's either this one in red or whatever's inside the black brackets. So you have to really put everything in little compartments over here. Here we have weight greater than 400 and height less than, but there's a bracket over there. That means there needs to be another bracket over here, because I've got a bracket sitting over there that's not matching up. Now the end of that little plus sign is actually showing it, that we've got a spare bracket there that's going to cause a big problem in our Delphi code. So we have to match it up with another bracket over here. So let's go and put another purple bracket over here. And if you want, you can color code. I'll color code this last bracket so you can see that that last bracket will make it that color. That's got to be matching that bracket over there. Right, so we get a better idea now. So everything in the turquoise brackets over here are purple, but you've got to go and put brackets around there too. And then the ear size is greater than 100. That OR statement, so it's either that purple or that blue. Right, so this is quite tricky. We're going to do an exercise tomorrow, so you don't have to do anything else now except study this video. Okay.